What's up guys, strolling along here, and I wanted to just give you a quick rundown of Delphi.ai and the clone that you can create using it. A clone of yourself. This is a super powerful tool. It's incredibly useful for anyone and everyone, but it is particularly useful for influencers, people who have already been writing books, who have been writing online, recording stuff online, creating trainings. This tool lets you create a clone of yourself that your clients, your followers can talk to make it feel like they're interacting with you. And it's super, super cool what it can do. And I just want to show you how easy it is to set it up. I've had multiple people reach out to me and ask me if they could use me or have me help them set it up on their behalf. And I'm just like, I totally can, but if I'm being honest, it's easier for you to just take your access to things and just make it work already on your behalf. It's like giving me access to it, like you'll see, giving me access to it is just adding a middleman that doesn't need to be there. And I would prefer that you know how to fish, that you know how to do it. And so here's just a quick tutorial on Delphi.ai, because I actually wasn't able to find one when I was looking on YouTube. So I'm deciding to create my own. So on this page, we have our just clone readiness up at the top here. We've got onboarding, clone creation, like these are the steps you'll go through. We've got analytics over here on the right side. Apparently 275 people have sent my chatbot a message. That's pretty cool. 13 people have used it. That's also pretty cool. I've got my active integrations here. But really the main thing you're going to want to take a look at is this train tab. So in the train tab we have our content, and honestly this content, it's super easy to upload it. They've made it insanely easy, and it is fetching awesome. So I'm going to go over here and click on add content. You can upload from YouTube. You can select a single video or an entire playlist or channel. So when I upload this video to YouTube, it's going to get included in the training. So my AI clone will be aware of this video, so I can stay up to date on the things that I'm doing. Isn't that fetching awesome? That's great. So I can upload from a website, so I can upload a single link or an entire blog. And the cool part about this is that it can stay up to date. Like I can keep this synced. So if I have a blog, which I do, I can just automatically keep this synced. So every single time I publish, Delphi will capture that information and add it immediately to my clone. And so my clone is thus aware of all the new things I'm putting out on a weekly basis. Super, super cool. So we can also just upload links from CSV, right? So we have 3 different ways for a website. We have our YouTube, we can upload a channel, we can upload a specific playlist, which might be more your style. So if your videos, or if you have podcast videos, you only want to upload videos of you, that's probably going to be more useful here. Social media, Twitter, upload a TikTok, upload your Instagram, right? So you can go through each of these. So it's got some rules regarding LinkedIn, Instagram, and different things like that. But Twitter profile and TikTok can automatically be put in here, and I've got my TikTok or my Twitter automatically synced as well. We can just upload files. So you can just drag files from your laptop just in here. You can choose from the Google Drive. A lot of people have their videos, or transcripts, etc. in Google Drive, so you can just click on that, upload from OneDrive, Box, Dropbox. You can also just find a book, which I've never clicked on because I've never published a book. I've created some PDFs of books, but let's just say I searched that. What'll that goes? Curious. Yeah, so we got Brendan Burchard, High Performance Habits, and different things like that. So that's pretty cool. I can just click on upload. That's crazy. All right, so you can just find a book. I've never clicked on that one before. That was fun. You can just upload your podcast. You can upload a single episode. You can upload a series. You can keep the series synced if you've got your podcast and it's constantly being put out there, right? Last, it's manual. You can copy and paste information. You can auto-suggest questions, and you can answer these questions to improve your score. You can upload from a note-taking app, Notion and Evernote, and messaging apps, Slack and Gmail. So tons of different ways to train your clone to talk and act like you. And the more data that you give it, the closer it's going to get to being like you. Right? So they've made it incredibly simple, and this is why I say you can hire me to do this for you, but honestly, you already have access to all this information, and it would take you just as much time to come in here and give Delphi access to it as it would to come in here or to go to the app and give me access to it so I can upload it on your behalf. So if you've already got a VA, they can do this for you. Just no need to bring me on as an external resource. So that's how we train it. Okay, so that's all the content. So you can see I've got 130,000 words here. Not a lot when you compare it to people like Brendan Burchard, who has like, I think, 4 million, 13 million. It's a lot. But so that's our training. Next up is purpose. And this field affects how your clone, shaping, training, and informing response. So I would say purpose is how the AI acts in the conversation, what it wants to do in the conversation. And alright, so as strolling along, your purpose is to serve as a multifaceted digital mentor, leveraging your expertise in entrepreneurship and technology. You will educate individuals on these topics, providing authoritative knowledge and practical insights. As a coach, you will assist users in making informed decisions on how to use AI to amplify their life and increase their power. You will also act as a companion, engaging with your audience in a friendly and approachable manner. Above all, you will embody the persona of strolling along, reflecting his values, knowledge, and experiences in all interactions. So this is how it's going to act in the conversation. All right, so you can edit this and change it up to be whatever you want. And these clone requirements here, I guess, when you save this, it'll generate the clone requirements based on the information you provided. So I probably shouldn't have done that because it already had all the clone requirements ready and available for me. So that's my bad, right? But it's going to create all of these different clone requirements for me, and it's going to give me a score based on how well it's been trained on that particular subject. So this is really awesome. So it's saved, generating strengths. Right, so shouldn't have done that. It was already doing pretty good. But we're going to move on because I'm pretty sure it can continue by itself. But this is how the AI is going to act in the conversation. What it's going to try and drive towards, its purpose when it's talking. Next up is voice. If we take a look at voice, we're able to upload audio files. We can just click play. See.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
And so that did a really, really fetching good job of imitating my voice. I don't know if you heard that. I think you did. But I've uploaded just a couple of audios, and it did awesome. So this is super cool. Lets your clients and customers, followers, talk with you in real time, but it's your AI clone. Like, this is one of the coolest pieces. And I feel like this is a piece where people are like, oh, it's not actually that far along. It is. Like, I'm not going to say this is going to have as much inflection and energy and passion as I might have, especially right now because I'm trying to amp it up, but it gets close, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better at mimicking me and how I speak, and it's already insanely close to how I talk. So this is just awesome, right? This is an incredibly useful tool for you in your AI clone and for your followers to provide more value to them. So next up is tone. Tone dictates how the AI thinks of itself. If the purpose is how the AI is going to act and what it's trying to do in the conversation, the tone is pretty much how it's kind of going to get there, how it's going to act, how it's going to hold space for the individual, the way it's going to speak to you. So for me, Sterling's tone is warm, empathetic, and sincere, encouraging personal growth and introspection. I don't read this whole thing. You can read it yourself if you'd like. But this tone is actually extracted from the uploaded content. And so as you upload more content, as your knowledge base grows, this will update to reflect the tone that you have. And so if you change how you speak over the course of a couple of years, this tone will update to reflect that, and ideally be kind of more focused on your more recent ways of how you speak and interact, and your fieriness, how much energy you have, the passion. Like, maybe you go from being a very cold person to a warm, empathetic, and sincere person. So this would update to reflect that, right? So you don't have to worry about this tone area. Just know that it's there, and you can click on extract tone from uploaded content to kind of just create this on your behalf. You can also inform how your clone behaves and responds to certain scenarios. For example, you might be a very different person in work versus at home. And so you can kind of create different personalities based on this scenario that the individual is bringing to bear. All right, next up is custom instructions. And these allow you to add instructions to the AI so that it kind of governs how it's going to act. I feel like the most common one is going to be always end your responses with a question to continue the conversation. And this will just make sure that the AI just always weaves in a question at the very end to help the user think. I've also told mine to never use semicolons in responses. It doesn't do a super good job at that because AI doesn't understand the negative very well. Same as humans, actually. Our subconscious doesn't understand negatives, and it seems like AI kind of functions in a little bit the same way. And I said avoid starting sentence, another negative, right? So these are just, I would say that the AI is really, really good at ensuring that I always end with a question in my chats, my AI clones chats. And that's super cool. So these custom instructions can be very helpful. I'd say they can only be 500 words, so just make sure to keep them very short. All right, next up is suggested questions. And these questions, you can tag them and put them here. And what they do is they actually pop up. If I click on talk, they pop up down here. And so when someone is looking at this page, programming, writing, personal development, AI, so these tags are down here, and when they click on them, they'll have the questions appear there. So they're kind of like conversation starters. If I just click on start talking, then they won't necessarily be there, but you can see I've got like a massive thing in here. I've already talked with my AI clone quite a bit. Okay, so that's what those suggested questions are for people who are just hopping in. Okay, so next up then, so that's training. And I really hope that you can see that this is really, really simple. It's a very straightforward process. It should be incredibly easy for you to get in here and get set up. Fine-tuning might take a little bit of effort to make sure you get this purpose right, make sure it has all the things that you care about. But Delphi has done an amazing job at making this super easy for you to build your clone, to train your clone. Right, so now we're going to dive into, okay, what can you do with your clone now that you have created it? So we've got our integrations. And so we've got expert features. I'm not signed up for the expert level yet. I suspect I will be in the long term. I'm just on the starter. So I've got a Zapier connector so I can receive events about your clone's users. I can have Telegram integration and website integration. And this is the only one I'm currently using. I could probably set up a Zapier connector to gather emails for me on my behalf so that after 5 emails, let's say, the AI requests, or after 5 messages with my bot, it'll request an email from them and I can capture that. But so you can integrate with Slack, you can integrate with Discord, you can let people talk to it, SMS, or in Telegram. I might just test this one out. And then we have our WhatsApp integration here. And then Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn are all coming soon. But these are all super, super cool. The clone API is something I definitely want to give a shot at, but these are the integrations. So just taking a look at the website integration. This is the one that I use. Again, super easy. We just got a whole bunch of little checkboxes here. You can ask for email on unknown query, so I can ask the user to enter email when she asks a question that the clone cannot answer. We can require user email before clone conversations. So if I just check this, then when people see this little box, it'll immediately pop up with, like, what's your email? I need your email before you can talk to my bot. We can suggest questions for the initial conversation. So this will make those questions pop up at the very bottom. Ideally, I'm pretty sure that the questions that you created in the train tab. We can include the avatars in our little bubble here, which I don't care one way or the other. I actually kind of like them, so we're going to add them. We can display a warning of potentially wrong information. Yep, I kind of want that actually. And then we can show a beta next to the name. So I want to do that. So we can just change these. I need to upgrade to, I think, expert to be able to hide this part by Delphi and change the coloring. I'm okay with the coloring as it is. But then we can hop into the integrate tab. And if any of you guys have ever worked with a website, this is super easy. If I want to embed it in the website, just like this, I just copy this code and I paste it into a custom code block in Kajabi or Wix or Webflow. Super, super easy. And if I want a little chat bubble like this down at the bottom right that I can click on, like Dara, the co-founder of Delphi, he's got his down here, right? His AI clone here to help you out. Dog fooding is software, hardcore. And if I want this little bubble, then I just copy this code and I paste it in. So website integration is insanely easy. And I've got this. If we go to strong.me, we can see that I've got my little bubble down here at the bottom right. You can talk with my AI clone right here. Boom. So it's going to take a second to load, I guess. But super, super easy to integrate this, your clone, into your websites and just make it pop up for you. We can also just take a look real quick at, I've created it here so it's like embedded and people can just come here and immediately talk with it. Alright, so just a couple examples of what it looks like in the web page. Alright, so hopping back to Delphi. All right, so that's integrations. Then we have analytics, monetization, usage. I'm gonna hop straight to settings. I'm not gonna dive into any of these other ones, except monetization. I guess we can give a quick look at this. So we have memberships, and you can set up a membership so that people, if they want full access to it, they can just pay you, right? So I've got full access. No one has subscribed yet. That's fine. So $100 a month or $1,000 per year. And you can just click on create membership to create different tiers. And inside of this membership, you can determine how many messages they can send in a month, like whether web messaging, texting, and voice are available, how many minutes per month they can talk to you, right? So these are the different ways, like they just created a super simple way for you to turn your clone into a monetizable asset for you. Or to use it as a lead magnet to generate leads. Like it's an amazing job. It's an absolutely amazing product. So that's our memberships. Next up is affiliate products. And these are actually really cool because you can add a product and then you add keywords. And I don't know if this is good. Let's hop into the website. Let's see if I edit over here. You can add a link to the website itself. You have a title, you have an image, then you have a description. It's a 30-day guided course for forward-thinking professionals who want to craft their empire with AI and not fear it. And then you add keywords. And so this is where it gets cool. So these keywords are basically when someone says one of these keywords, the AI will pitch this offer to the individual based on the keyword. So if I'm talking to my personal bot, and let's just go back to journal.me. What can you tell me? Let's move my guy. Build with AI. So I'm going to send it a message, and I'm using the keyword build with AI, and so ideally this is going to pitch me my product. Whoa. To amplify your capabilities and turn your thoughts into tangible outcomes. Alright, so it's still giving me some more information. Okay, so it didn't give me a lot of information. I'm pretty sure that's because just up here it already pitched it. So I asked it and it added a link and it let me just click on it here. So it didn't pitch the idea to me, but it asked me what specific skills or knowledge are you hoping to gain by participating in Build with AI. So you can see that it can pitch your products to individuals on your behalf, which I think is super cool. And honestly, it's just a really awesome lead magnet in that case. But hopping back to Delphi, the last thing I want to take a look at, so now that you've seen what it can do, you can charge people for it. It can gather emails for you. It can pitch your products to people. So the last thing then is settings, and this is where you can do some fine-tuning things. You can set up the initial message, a message on no known answer. What your clone will say when it doesn't know how to respond to the user's query. I should probably fill this in. Messages before login required. How many messages a user can send before being required to log in? And I've set it to be 5. I've enabled voice calling so that people can talk to me. Just useful information. We got context, content preferences, recency bias, prioritize more recent documents, favor new content, deprioritize content the user has already seen so that they can explore new content. I think that's actually pretty useful. So I'm going to save that. Next up is our style. So creativity, a score of 0 makes the clone adhere to only content it is trained on. I kind of wanted that actually. And then response length would be default. I'm going to maybe make that like 200, 201 to be short and concise because I want my messages to be much, much shorter than they are. If I go all the way over here, it can be like, I think this is like 1,000 words versus 200 words. So if we're looking at like, I'd love for my responses to be around 250 words. So those are the style. Next up is privacy. Oh, I guess I probably needed to save this. So I'm curious how that will change my bot. We'll give it a little test. Okay, so we've got our privacy. I want to show citations. So those are the little bubbles for clicking on this guy. Nope. Let's get an example from my... Oh, that's not where I wanted to go, actually. Well, I guess I get to pitch my own stuff here, but... Okay, so if I open up this bubble here, boop, you can see these bubbles, and I can click on these, and they're citations. Basically, the AI clone is pointing back to the software that, or not the software, is pointing back to the information that I've given it. And so people can click on these to go to that article on Medium if they want to read more, right? Like, this is super cool stuff. Like, the fact that they're able to do this is amazing. And so that's what citations are. So if we're looking at settings, we have our privacy, we're going to show citations. Permits users to view sources, right? We can toggle that on and off. Sorry, I just want to get rid of this bubble down here. Go away. Okay, thanks. We can personalize responses, remembers previous interactions with the user if logged in, which is what I've done. We've got our custom warning, and we can manage clone access settings here. Last step is notifications, email, when clone can't answer, clone activity report, which I really like, just so I can see how people are using it. So again, Delphi, just in overview, I'd say, is an insanely powerful tool that lets you train your AI clone as simply as possible, keep it up to date as simply as possible. Incredibly easy. You just upload the blog that you're writing to on a consistent basis, or the YouTube channel that you have, or the podcast that you've got going, and it just throws it all in here. Super, super useful for training. You can set up its purpose. You can set up its voice, so it can talk to people. You can set up a tone. You can give it custom instructions and have suggested questions. So that's training. We looked at integrations and how easy it is to integrate with different features. I looked specifically at the website integration, but again, super easy and useful. We also looked at how it can function and require user email and gather user information on your behalf and then send it to you with a Zapier connector so you can gather emails from it. And we also looked at monetization so that you can have subscriptions for it or have it sell your products on your behalf, right? And I would say that this is an incredibly useful tool because now you have an always-on, evergreen conversationalist that acts like you and sells your product like you. Awesome stuff. And then last but not least, we took a look at our settings and just all the different features and options that are available there. These analytics and usage are basically showing you, okay, where are you at in your plan and who is using it, right? So there you have it. That is Delphi, an incredibly useful and powerful tool for building your own AI clone. And I would highly recommend that anybody who wants to build a clone use this software to build it. Simplicity, ease of use, the available features are all incredibly amazing. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I'd love to answer them. And I would also love to see your clone. So if you build it, share it. Throw it in there. If you'd like to join me on my adventures with AI, you can hop into our Build with AI school community. I'll leave a link below. And you can hop in with us and learn to build with AI. Build your clone with AI, right? It's an incredibly powerful software. It's going to just get more and more powerful. And everybody is going to be in this space if they want to outpace or keep up with others. AI increases your power. It increases your ability to turn your thoughts into reality. And I hope you can see the simplicity that it brings when it's properly put together with Delphi. So, that is all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, builder. And I'll see you soon.